Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. My name is Crystal Holloman, a digital reporter here at News 10. I'm joined by First Alert Meteorologist Colton Cichoracki, and it is cold, it is snowy, it is windy, and it is not going to stop.
It's like winter.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, winter doesn't officially start for another month.
That's
a little over a month.
You wouldn't know it by looking outside.
No, it's been snowy. It's been cold, and we're gonna just see this continue because everything's still on track as of right now. We've seen some bursts of heavier snow from time to time throughout the day, and that's kind of what we can expect to continue through the overnight hours into our Friday as well. We're gonna see this as a long duration. It's not all gonna come down at once. The snow. It's going to be kind of piling up here over the last several days. And one of the things that we'll be keeping an eye on, and I'll talk about it in just a second, is the fact that what happens when the sun goes down. That has helped to keep the roads okay. That has also helped melt some of the snow that we saw earlier today away. But that's going to be a different story once we go into tonight. Temperatures are going to drop down into the 20s. So we're expecting to start to see some more road impacts, especially by our Friday morning. I think that's the one that I would circle as probably being the most impacted one. But I want to go through some of our graphics here. Today continues to be a First Alert weather day, and so does tomorrow. We're going to keep this through Friday, as that's when we're going to still see snow. Even on Saturday, I think we could see a few snow showers as well. This is a look outside from our US 127 Skycam. You can see a few flurries coming down, but earlier this morning, when the snow was really coming down, we could barely see US 127 from this.
We had one Skycam shot over here at the Now Desk that was so snowy. I asked one of our TMPs in the control room if it was broken because it looked like static.
Yeah, and it was really coming down, and it was a really... the snow was sticking to the camera, and so, it was a much different scene, but things have improved since then, but we're going to see some more snow showers over the next few hours here, and you can see satellite radar, and the whole time we have been saying that the heaviest snow is going to be west of Lansing, and that's what we have seen so far, but what we're also watching is see how the snow showers are kind of getting a little bit heavier, and they're starting to get a little bit further to the east.
And that's where it's more bluish purple.
Yeah, the darker blue is where we have some of the, I'll zoom in here, and you can see that there is that burst right towards Grand Ledge. Right into northern parts of Eaton County and into southern Clinton County right along I-96. So that's going to scoot in here. And then we'll just see these kind of snow showers continue for a while over the next few hours. And then we'll see the lake effect pick up again tonight into Friday. So it's just going to be kind of this, the same type of weather for a while. And lake effect, like we said this yesterday, it's a tricky thing to forecast, and it's also depending on where some of the heavier bands set up. If one area sees the band sit over it for a longer period of time, they're going to get some locally higher snowfall totals, and that's why it's also tricky to pinpoint where some of the heaviest snow is going to be this time around. But like I mentioned, the travel impacts, I'm really thinking that tomorrow morning is going to be the most impacted. We'll have some impacts out there for this evening's drive, especially when it comes to snow coming down, the visibility being reduced. The roads should be okay, I think. We were just driving around. The roads are mostly wet outside, but we're going to see that kind of change a little bit once the sun goes down, less traffic on the roads, things like that. It's going to cool down. So that's why I think tomorrow morning is probably the highest impact that we're going to see.
And that's like the morning drive,
Correct.
The 7, 8 o'clock-ish. Okay.
Correct. And we still do have a winter weather advisory for Ingham, Jackson, and Clinton counties, and a winter storm warning for Ionia, Eaton, and Calhoun counties. That hasn't changed, but where you see the pink color, that is where the heavier snow is going to come down with this lake effect snowfall event. The closer you get to Lake Michigan, the more snow that you're going to see.
That makes sense. It's almost like it happens every year.
Exactly. So what's different about this one, though, is that it's happening early. The water on the Great Lakes is still pretty warm, and this is extremely cold air. So that temperature difference is leading to a lot of this reaching further inland, and it's leading to much heavier snow. We were talking earlier about what they're going to see over in the eastern parts of the Great Lakes. Buffalo, for instance, could see 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah, they're talking about moving the football game to Detroit.
Right, so they're going to see a lot of snow over that way. We're not going to have to deal with that, but I want to show you the hour-by-hour forecast as we head throughout the evening hours. By the time you're getting out from work, you'll see these snow showers continue. Bursts of heavier snow still possible. Same thing through the evening hours. And then guess what? We see it continue tonight and then even into our Friday as well. We may see a bit of a break tomorrow morning before it kind of gets going again during the afternoon and evening hours. We're just going to see these snow showers on and off through the next 24 to possibly up to like 36 hours or so with these snow showers. I'll play this all the way through Friday night. There are more snow showers. Friday night, of course, Jackson is having its holiday event. Lansing's having its holiday event. It's going to be cold, potentially snowy at times. It's It's going to be windy tomorrow, and it's going to be cold. I'll talk about the wind chills in just a second because that is something that we're also going to be tracking as we head into the weekend. More snow showers through Friday night, and then Saturday we start off quiet. But look at those temperatures. We're in the teens. And then watch what happens as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. We see more snow showers develop. So this is a long duration. Like we've been saying, it's a slowly but surely snowfall will add up over time. So it's not like this is a snowstorm where you get, 6 inches of snow all at once. This is something that's going to add up over time. So I believe my next graphic is the snowfall totals. This is the map that I drew with what we can expect through Saturday. Remember, through Saturday. So we'll probably see an inch or two tonight, inch or two tomorrow, inch or two on Saturday.
Okay.
All right. So by the time it's all said and done, expecting the heaviest snowfall totals to be west of Lansing in that pink color, where 6+ inches of snow. Now, I left it kind of vague. Normally, I don't do that, but I did in this case because you're going to have localized areas with some higher snowfall totals. Some places might see a foot of snow from this, but I'm not expecting that to be a widespread thing, so that's why I did not want to include that number on there. I would say in the Lansing area, 3 to 6 inches, with the highest totals being on the west side of Lansing, with lesser totals once you get towards East Lansing. And then further south towards Jackson and the rest of mid-Michigan, probably only an inch or two, if that at all. It may end up being less than that. So it's really just the bullseye right in the middle part of mid-Michigan from Lansing off towards the west is where we're going to see some of the heaviest snowfall totals. So kind of just recapping what I said here is that the lake effect snow will continue. Heaviest will be west of Lansing. We'll see bursts of heavier snow and roads will be impacted. And like I mentioned earlier, I do think the Friday morning commute will probably be the one that's impacted the most. So that's something to keep in mind as we head into tomorrow, whether it be with your morning drive or kids going to school, and things like that. Friday morning. So that's why tomorrow is also a first alert weather day. I did mention the cold air.
Yeah, with the events we have going on tomorrow, a lot of people have been asking, is Silver Bells canceled? Is the Jackson parade canceled? We haven't heard any of that yet.
Right.
So.
And I don't want to speak on behalf of anyone, but I would doubt it. But it's going to be cold and snowy nonetheless. Yes. I mean, some people would argue that's how it should be for these things, but it's going to be very, very cold. So this evening. We're going to have our wind chill values in the teens. But what's going to happen is our winds are actually going to pick up tomorrow. So it's going to be a bit more windy than today. And temperatures are going to be a little bit colder tomorrow as well. So that both that combination is going to lead to colder wind chills. So we're going to start off tomorrow morning with wind chills in the lower teens. That's very cold. And then we're going to see these wind chills not move up much throughout the day, staying in the teens. And I picked 7 o'clock on purpose, so that is when Silver Bells is going on in downtown Jackson, or Lansing, and then Jackson's event's also going on. We could potentially have wind chills in the single digits in parts of the area. So it's going to be extremely cold. So the snow is not the only story. The cold is also the story. And remember, it's only November, what is it, the 17th?
17th.
And, this is getting cold for this time of year. And we're going to just see those cold wind chills continue Friday night. And then by the time we start the day on Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised if we have wind chills on Saturday down into the single digits. And remember, MSU is home as well.
Yes.
And there's going to be single digit wind chills. And the last graphic I'll show you here is the 10-day temperature trend showing that the coldest period is going to happen over the weekend with those temperatures in the 20s. Next week does look a bit better. We do have 30s and 40s on the way, but it's still going to be remaining below average and colder than where we should be this time of year. But remember, the snow is the main story, and we're going to continue to keep you updated here. There's a lot of information on that, but cold, snowy over the next several days.
And not letting up for the next couple of days.
Correct. We're kind of just stuck in this weather pattern for a little while here.
And I mean, like we were talking about, there's a lot of stuff going on in communities around here. Big thing people in the newsroom were talking about was the snow at the Central Michigan, Western Michigan game last night. They were just covered in snow. I don't even know how they played.
Well, and that's another example of it is that when you get lake effect snow, you get something that's called a snow squall. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
I've heard squalls,
yeah, there's just bursts of really heavy snow that drop visibility really quickly, and they can cover the ground really, really quickly. And that's kind of what we saw this morning when it was very quick.
Yes.
All of a sudden, it was snowing really heavily, and everything got covered. Those are the types of things that we'll be watching for through the next couple of days. And that's why snowfall totals over time will accumulate to those numbers that I mentioned of several inches of snow.
Well, there's a couple things you can do as you get prepared. Of course, stay with us on air and online for these next 2 First Alert Weather Days. You can also, like we say every time, download the First Alert Weather app for real-time updates.
Yeah, posted updates, when that snow was coming down earlier today. We'll post another update here within the next hour or so. Just letting you know, you can always find updated radar, push notifications with watches and warnings that are out, everything that's very useful. And the best part of it all is that it's free.
Yeah, free and easy to use, very user-friendly. Like I say all the time, my favorite part is the road conditions part of that. So I love being able to see what roads maybe are not quite so great at being plowed and what ones are kind of clear. Other thing is the First Alert Winter Survival Guide, which we have both online and on all of our streaming apps. You can just look for that. It was a special that the entire First Alert Weather team did. Really great information in that.
Yeah, and luckily we already did it because the winter's certainly getting an early start to the season here. Lots of useful information in that, how road crews and different agencies are getting ready, and what kind of the thought processes behind that, as well as school closings, how those are decided, and that's something that we'll be on the lookout for tomorrow, especially in the western parts of mid-Michigan, where we may see some of that.
And this time of year, the snow falling, really almost the perfect day for us to talk about our Make an Impact today, which was Boots on the Playground. We're still taking donations. We have all of this information on our website. But as that snow falls, as those temperatures drop, we want to make sure that kids in the Lansing and Jackson areas have warm, safe, comfortable boots and shoes to get through the winter. Here's a list of locations where you can drop off new or gently used children's boots. We also have more information on this under the hot button issue on our website, WILX.com. And I was talking to some of the people from those volunteer places earlier, and we were like, wow, this is a perfect day for us to be talking about the need for boots in the community. So if you're heading out later on today or tomorrow for any of the events, make sure you bundle up, get that First Alert Weather app so you got all the information on your phone, and stick with us on air, online, and on all your streaming for services. Colton, thank you.
Yes, and we'll have team coverage of our First Alert Weather Days in our 90 minutes of news, as well as later tonight in our 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. newscasts, and of course, even into tomorrow as well.
Yep.
So we have you covered, so make sure you tune in to News 10 throughout the next couple of days, and we'll have all the updates that you need to know.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody.